everyone. Pastor David Robinson here, and welcome to Freedom Hill Conversations. Now, a lot of you guys watch us, on the internet. You see our teachings on YouTube, and there's a lot that goes on that you have no clue about. And there's always these people behind the scenes that are working very hard, doing camera work, audio work, editing. And today, I'm going to introduce you to one of those people, and it's Adam Barbee. And Adam is our camera guy. He's an editor. He makes sure that everything that you see on the service is his doing. He is making sure everything is coming through and you're being able to hear and see everything. So if anything goes wrong, it's that guy. But no, anyway, Adam, we really do appreciate everything you do at Freedom Hill. I've come to know you over the past, 6 years probably.
6 years, yeah.
And not only are you the editor and camera guy, you're also married to my daughter.
Yep.
And so
Yes,
you're
I
my
am.
son-in-law. So we have in our house, we have a dungeon, I guess, or if you want to call it, where all the production stuff is taken care of, and the recordings, and we have a full studio down there, and he has his little room, and I have my little room, and I think we drive each other crazy, playing stuff back and forth. But and your editing, it's always funny because you do it so fast, you like double speed everything, right?
Sometimes I do what I do just to compete with you and to outdo what you're doing because, when you hear something so much, and one day I'm like, all right, I'm going to turn mine up just a little bit just to let them know I'm here.
Exactly. Well, one thing that, like I said, a lot of people don't understand is what goes on behind the scenes, and there's a lot that goes on.
Yeah.
I mean, what are some of the things that you have to make sure?
Well, I mean, just the typical thing that I go through every week is just, getting the camera set up, because we do share with the church here. And so I, just setting the camera up, setting lights up, and, making sure that the stream is good, and setting it up on YouTube, and just doing stuff like that, which usually takes me about 15, 20 minutes because I'm so used to doing it. But for the most part, 9 times out of 10, it works well. And then there's the occasion where things just fall apart, and you got to do the occasional troubleshooting. So I'm sure y'all have experienced that before. So it's,
Technology.
It's the old saying in the business: it is what it is.
It is what it is. Absolutely. Well, I think one of the things that we talk about at Freedom Hill, and as far as leadership is we should always be training people to take our position. It's not something that we should hold on to. Hopefully, we're teaching people, and you're starting to do that. You have a young man, Jeff, that
Yes.
you're starting to teach.
Yeah, that's a very true thing, because sometimes, I've always been in the mindset of if I can't get it done, no one else will.
Yeah.
And that's a horrible mindset to be in. Because you gotta learn to trust others and try to let others do it, and mistakes happen. And so, I've always been like that in my life. It's like if I don't do it, it won't get done right or whatever. So, I'm trying to help, get Jeff to do it and try to get him to, do it on his own. And mistakes are going to happen. Just like it was with me when I started out and doing things. I was hoping that someone would give me a chance, and and I felt bad if I made mistakes.
Right.
And so now I'm on the other end of the table, and to let someone else do it and try to. And not just him, and if anyone else wants to do it, I mean, it really is simple. I mean, there's once you get, you do it, then it's just second nature.
Right.
It's like, wait, what cable goes here or what cable goes here? I mean, it's, I know it's because I can do it in my sleep.
Right.
So.
And sometimes you also see them the introduction or coming up for prayer, and that's one thing we try to do is involve everybody in our conversation to be a part. And those people who love to pray, those people who have a word, and we think that's very important here. One thing that always blesses me is, even though you're working, a lot of times you may be hearing somebody sing very loud, and it's him. He is actually worshiping during worship, even though he's making sure everything's going right. And 6 years ago, coming into the understanding of your Jewish roots, what would you say is what is something that you feel God is doing, that you see He's doing in not only your life, but in the world? What's going on? What do you see?
My gosh, I mean, that's a tall question. It's not a loaded question. It's a tall question because there's so much that can be said. For me personally, it was realizing that it's not all about me. When it comes to the understanding of it's all about Him and not about me, that just puts perspective into place. It's like, wow, like everything that I've been doing to strive for myself and doing it for myself was all for naught, really. And he still loved me and guided me in where I was going in spite of what I was doing. And so that's probably been the biggest thing I've learned in the last 6 years. And then understanding that the front of the book matters, that the front of the book is as important as the back of the book, and realizing that the page that says New Testament and Old Testament, just rip those out, and that everything matters.
It's one book, right?
It's just one entire book. That there's, and that everything that's in it is truth from beginning to end, and that the New Testament is basically rehashing the Old Testament. Everything that Jesus taught, and everything that he was quoting is the prophets of old. He's fulfilling. That's what it means by to fulfill, is things that were said in Isaiah or Jeremiah or that was in Psalms. And so that's why I got, like when I'm reading the Bible that I have, it has highlighted in black. It's showing this was a prophet of old, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And so just knowing that, it's not just about Paul. It's not just about Matthew through John. It's the whole entire thing. That's been the biggest change in my life, and it's actually pretty cool to see a lot of people, especially like in our congregation. A lot of people, it's the new faces are coming from the Christian church, and so and just to see them, just a hunger for that. That's pretty cool to see where I was at 6 years ago. To see them go, wow, what's this about? And so. I think it's a cool thing for us as a church to help them through it and to guide them through it, and as many churches should.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Adam Barbee, the face behind the technology. So now when you see the stream, see the videos, the guy that's in charge of that and doing that for Freedom Hill. So thanks, man. Thanks for sharing your heart.
Yep.
Look forward to talking to you guys again next week. Shalom. Have a wonderful day.